Hello, everyone. Professor Sherman again, and I'm just going to take a couple more minutes of your time, and I want to discuss some of the finer points of this class, a couple of tips and tricks to help you excel, and also I want to get into the bigger picture of maybe my expectations and how I'm going to grade you. So that's what this is all about. So first of all, let me get to the first thing I want to discuss is the textbook. Now here is our textbook. I don't know if I did this in the last, this is our textbook. What's that sound? Sixth edition right here. Okay. You'll wonder where all these tabs come from. I actually, and the spiral binding here, I actually customize my textbooks. I take it to a FedEx Kinko's, and they cut off the spine and put in a spiral binding, and it's great because the book sits flat when you open it. You know, you could just sit it, and it just anyway. It's very helpful, and I put tabs for each chapter. That's all. But anyway, listen, this is the sixth edition of What's That Sound? Now, I'm not sure if the college bookstore is sending out uh, the fifth edition or the sixth edition. I think if you buy an online access to the book, you're getting the sixth edition. The college may still have some fifth editions left over, which they might be sending out, and that's fine. The fifth and sixth edition is not that much different. The difference comes in the later chapters. We're still adding on to rock and roll history. Rock and roll history isn't finished yet. Not like the French Revolution. That was finished around 1800. That you didn't have to add any more after that. So that's the textbook. If you want to listen, I understand that people want to save a few bucks. They go to Amazon. They want to save, and buy your textbooks on Amazon. If you have bought the third or the fourth edition, or even the second edition of What's That Sound, please let me know. It's not really going to work. The textbook has changed from edition to edition, and from edition 2 and 3 to now, there is quite a difference in the early chapters. So if you have that, please let me know, and see what you can do about getting the fifth or sixth edition. Okay, that's the textbook. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is communication. Listen, this is an online course, and look, I got into teaching after a career in the music industry because I like talking to people. And you will find throughout the course of this course, the course of this class, that I enjoy talking to people, and rock and roll history really gets me all stoked up, and I love talking about it. That's why I'm here, right? So but communicating with my students tends to be hard online, and so I just want to talk about communication with you a little bit. There are four kinds of communication that we can have in this class. There's email, there's announcements, there's my feedback I'm going to give you on your assignments, and every week I have a Zoom meeting. Every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I'm trying to do this every week. I have a Zoom class that lasts about 45 minutes, an hour, maybe sometimes, if I have a lot to say or if I field a lot of questions from people who are online with me. Those are four ways to do. So let's do this. And the real way I have to communicate with you immediately is through email and through announcements. So let's do this. Every time you log on to the class, and if some people only log on once a week, do their week and go away, and that's really not going to work. So go on every day or two, and look at the announcements, look at the emails. That's how I'm going to communicate with you. Okay, so make sure you check that. That's going to be important. Also, I'm going to try and give you a lot of feedback on your assignments. I'm going to try. We have, I think, 25 in this class right now, so it's going to be impossible to give detailed feedback to every single one of you on every single assignment. In week 2, it turns out I have like 100, 100 assignments to read and grade, so I just can't get to everyone. So what I'm going to do is, if I'm going to say, if you've done a terrific job, you've covered all the bases, and you've done a really good job of thinking about assignments and expressing your opinions, I'm going to say good work. That's all. Some of you, I'm going to write detailed. I pride myself on the fact that I write more than my students do. So I'm going to write some detailed feedback. Remember that my feedback is not telling you you're wrong or right. It's criticizing your performance and how you assemble the facts, the sources you use, and how you use them. And I'm going to get to that in a second too. And also, if I think that some of the feedback that I've given some other students are going to do you some good. I'm not going to say great work. I'm just going to say read some of the feedback I've given some of your classmates, okay? Every week you should read the feedback. What I write in this class is important, and don't ignore it, please. It will help you. It's only meant to help you, and it's help you meant to do better on the next assignment. So always check the feedback that I give, even if it's not yours. Read it. Read some of the other students, your classmates, feedback that I've given them. Okay. Um, uh, Also, listen. And I have this a lot with my friends in the military, uh, but generally people are afraid to raise their hand in class and say, hey, Professor, I don't understand. Okay, please don't be embarrassed. Don't hesitate to tell me if you're confused or you don't understand something. It is so crucial that you go into assignments understanding what you have to do, and if you're confused about thinking about the topic, let me know. Send me an email. I get back to my students very quickly. I can't, sometimes I still do recording sessions now and then. I also do some consultant work for a manufacturer of music software. But generally I can get back to you very quickly. If there's a puzzle that if you're puzzled about something that I can solve in an email, we can do that. But if it's a bigger problem, then we'll talk. We'll get on the phone, or we'll get on a video call, and we'll talk it over. And I do that with my students. And I like to try and develop a relationship with my students. So really, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Saying you're confused or you don't understand is not admitting a weakness or something. It's your need to know, okay? And I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So okay, so that's about communication. Zoom meetings, that's not all about communication. Zoom meetings are going to be every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, permitting. If I can't do it at Tuesday at 8 o'clock, I'll send you an email and I'll put an announcement in the announcements to say I can't make it. And maybe what I'll do is if I can't make it at 8 o'clock, maybe later that night I'll record something and post it so you can watch it. But also, the Zoom meetings are done on Tuesday because maybe on Sunday, Monday, you've had a chance to read the textbook or start reading the chapter that we're covering. My Zoom meetings are not entertainment. I actually drop some information on you that's going to be useful to the assignments. So I highly recommend that you watch the Zoom meeting from Tuesday before you do the assignments for that week. Okay, and that's going to segue into some tips and tricks for excelling in this class. Okay, this course tends to be a little work intensive. We cover a chapter a week, and some of those chapters reach about 40 pages. Now, I know 40 pages, a lot of people say, oh, that's not much. I can blow through 40 pages in a couple of hours. But this textbook is just so chock full of information that just reading it like a novel is not really going to do you much good. So what I recommend is read 10 pages a day. Underline, take notes. Let me show you something. Let's go to our first chapter that we're going to covering this week. Here's let's see, here's a good page. Turn to any page. Here we go. Yeah, okay, so here's page 51. Here's what it looks like here. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, you see I've underlined, I wrote little notes to myself in the margins there. I've summarized what I've read. I also underline in yellow, and in orange I write the names of songs that appear. This is going to be important. See, here's a song here. Here's a song, I've Got a Crush on You by Frank Sinatra. Well, you probably don't want to listen to that, but any song that's mentioned in the textbook is mentioned for a reason. So just underline it so that you'll be able to find it easily, because I'm going to ask you to do some listening for this course. And these these I'm all out of sorts here. Here we go. The songs are mentioned as good examples of what the textbook is talking about. So underline, take 10 pages, underline, make a note of the songs, and write yourself notes in the margins, whatever you need, or write it if you're preserving your textbook so you can sell it back. Write notes longhand on a piece of paper or on your computer, and then the next day go back, read your underlinings, read your notes to yourself, and then go to the next 10 pages. This way you're reading the textbook twice almost, okay? And this is a good way to do it. This is a good way to retain all this information. And then, so let's say it's 40 pages. By Thursday, you've heard the Zoom class, you've read the chapter twice, you've underlined, you know where all the pertinent information is, and then you're ready to do the assignment, okay, on Thursday or Friday. You might want to take another day to do some listening. And that and listen to as much music as you can. Look, this is the fun part of this course. This course is about listening to rock and roll from the 1950s, 1960s, 70s. So do as much listening as you can. In fact, the more you listen, the better idea you get of the continuum of rock and roll history. So do as much listening as you can. The textbook features 5 songs for every chapter in the listening guides. You can't get a good picture of rock and roll history by just listening to 5 songs per era. So do a lot of listening, okay? There's Listen, I also post some songs in the course. I post them as YouTube videos, but YouTube videos go down and break all the time. So I also try and post Spotify playlists for the assignments also. So I would prefer if you use the Spotify playlist. However, if you notice a link is broken, find the song on Spotify or find a song somewhere else and listen to it that way. But listen to all the songs, even if the YouTube links are. I'm trying to do away with all YouTube links, but they just, they're built into the course and they keep on breaking. I keep on having to change them. YouTube is if YouTube is a problem, and then use Spotify. I love Spotify. Spotify, you can listen to any album, anytime, anywhere. I just love it for $10 a month. I think there might be a student price, and I think there might be a 30-day offer for free. So you can use Spotify for the duration of this course for maybe $10. That's not a lot. I think there used to be a free version of Spotify. I'm not up on this right now, where you could play my playlists. You can't go and look for albums yourself, but you can open my playlist and listen to the music there with the free version. So you can do that too. Another really kind of fun item is the app Pandora. You can make your own channels. For instance, you can make something called the Elvis Presley channel, and what it'll do is it'll give you a good outline of music, or you could say 1950s rock and roll channel, or the Aretha Franklin channel, or the Beatles channel, something like that. It'll give you a sort of a taste of music surrounding that. It's just not Beatles. They'll give you Dave Clark 5, the Who, the Rolling Stones, the Trogs. They'll give you a lot of music from that era. So Pandora is also good. But seriously, do a lot of listening. If you usually listen to the radio while you're having your coffee in the morning or read the paper, let it go for the next 2 months. If you listen to the radio or music on the way driving your kids to school or on your way to work, listen to Pandora, listen to Spotify. Lady Gaga will be there, and Taylor Swift will be there when you get back. Okay, but for 2 months, really immerse yourself in the music. Okay, so that's tips for that. That's the way to I think read slowly, absorb all the information, and underline and really see if you can and do a lot of listening. And that's really the only tip I have. Oh, last thing. The college, for some reason, thinks that you should be submitting your discussion posts on Wednesday or Thursday. That's crap. Excuse my language. That's arbitrary, and it doesn't work for me anyway. Look, we all have lives, we all have careers, kids. Some of us are taking care of our parents. Some are working 2 jobs. Some work at night. Some nurses work for 12 hours from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I understand that it's hard to fit your academic life into real life. So I don't need you to post on Thursdays, absolutely. If the best you can do is get to it on Friday, redo your reading Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and post on Saturday, then that's it. I am not going to, I don't want you to post just for the sake of posting. I want you to take the time you need to do the work, do some good thinking about the material, and do it right. Okay, so forget about the Thursday deadline. And finally, okay, a little bit bigger pictures about grades and my expectations. Um, uh, oh, I'm sorry. One last thing before that. I want to talk about AI. And this is a really important subject because AI is becoming more and more present in our lives. I mean, you can open up your website and there's AI staring you right in the face, like with Google and with Bing. And so here's the deal. AI is using AI to write your assignments is an academic violation. I think that you don't need to be a genius to figure that out. I want your words expressed, your thoughts expressed in your own words. Okay. Now, some of you don't use AI to do the assignments. However, you give your assignments to ChatGPT or to Grammarly to check over. Now, Grammarly is fine as long as you're correcting spelling, correcting punctuation. But the second Grammarly starts changing the way you express yourself, then uh, it's an AI violation. So I don't care how great a writer you are. I do care how you're thinking. I want to see what's going on inside the noodle here. Okay. So don't worry about writing in perfect English. I don't write in perfect English. Nobody does except for Shakespeare. Okay. um, so express yourself as best you can, but spend some time thinking about the topic. Just don't close the textbook and start typing. Okay, think about it. Maybe even write yourself a little outline. 4 or 5 lines on a piece of paper before you start writing your assignment. Don't use AI. Okay. Now, a lot of teachers, professors, caution you to stay away from Wikipedia also. I do not. I think Wikipedia is an excellent source of information, especially in rock and roll history. A lot of the articles in Wikipedia are placed there by the artists or by the record labels or by the music publishers. So the information that you'll get on Wikipedia about rock and roll and records and artists is usually very, very accurate. And you can use it, go for it. It's fine. However, as I'm going to explain in a minute, I'm looking for a bigger picture. Wikipedia will give you tons and tons of facts, but facts are not the same as opinions. Okay, you're going to be asked to form a lot of opinions and do a lot of analytical work. Okay, where facts, you'll use the facts to tell the story, to formulate an opinion. Okay, Wikipedia alone and the textbook alone won't you know give you the opinion, won't form your opinions for you. You have to do that, and that's the crux of this course. It's called critical thinking. Critical thinking is hard to explain, but because I know a lot of you students in nursing programs, critical means something very different. It means, the snap decisions you have to make to save people's lives. And I believe you me, I love you guys for that. Um, However, critical thinking in academics is a little bit different. So think about what a critic does. Critics, like a theater critic, he watches the show, he gathers the information, and then he forms an opinion. Okay, and that's what critical thinking is going to be here. It's going to be a little different for you guys in the sciences and in who take a lot of science courses because those are I guess it's quantitative. I guess. Where 2 plus 2 is 4 equals 4, and if you don't write a 4 on your answer sheet, then you're wrong. Okay. And you're going to get a big red X and you're going to lose some credit. It's not like that in a history course. There are no wrong answers. Okay, there's only wrong ways at arriving at your opinion. And I'm going to grade you not on your opinions, because there are no wrong opinions. I'm going to grade you at how you arrive at that opinion and how you use the facts, to how you assemble the facts. Okay, so part of this story, that part of this course is going to be trying to get you to think like historians. So what's thinking like a historian? And I'm going to take another minute or two for this and then I'm done. I don't know if you've ever ridden in a commuter railroad where the cars, half the seats are facing forward and half the seats are facing backwards. So no matter which way the train is going, half of you are going to be sitting forward and half of you are going to be sitting backwards. The historian always chooses the seat that's pointing backwards. We have to see where we've been. Okay, and this is important for developing a sense of historical significance. Okay, you have to, the fact that a lot of these events and a lot of these things are mentioned in the textbook is because at the time they move the needle a little bit. Okay, there's early rock and roll, and then here comes the Beatles, and it moves the needle a little bit. So you have to understand what changed. You have to look from the previous era and say, this is what they did. Here's what's different. Here's what they did differently. Here's what it meant. Here's what it sounds like. And that's historical significance. Okay. This is why a lot of things are mentioned in the textbook, because they have historical significance, because they move the needle. And all you have to do is figure out how the needle was moved, what changed, who was responsible, what happened, and what was the shakeout. How does the difference appear, with this new phenomenon? Okay, that's basically thinking like a historian. Okay, now think about this. You can't look ahead. We don't have a crystal ball. You have to put yourself in that period. Okay, so the historical significance, I'm going to pluck one of the air. The historical significance of Bill Haley and his Comets' Rock Around the Clock it's not significant because it became the theme song of a sitcom in the 1980s called Happy Days. That's not why it's historically significant. Nobody knew in 1953 that Happy Days was going to be a TV show, and they were going to choose that as a as a theme song. Okay, what you have to say is look back at where it's coming from. What happened before that, and why is this so different? What did Bill Haley do differently? How did he sound differently? What things did he combine? This is a new musical form. So how did it form? What happened? You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm being clear or not, but I hope I am. But if I'm not, send me an email and we'll talk it out some more. Let's see what other notes I had here. Yeah, and your grade is going to be based on how you organize your thoughts. That's all. Organizing your thoughts, using the facts, and historians tell a story, and that's what history is telling a story. Okay, you're telling the story of rock and roll history, of rock and roll from its beginnings up until about 1976, 1979, something like that. We're going to tell a story, so you have to use the facts to tell a story. And what's great about history is you can give two historians the same set of facts and they'll come up with two totally different stories, okay, with two totally different points and two totally different attitudes. So don't worry about your opinions. How you're reading the facts and what you interpret the facts to be is fine. I just want to see you use the facts to your advantage and tell the story. Okay, so that's it, I guess. Let me look at my copious notes here. I think that's it. And anyway, I've been going on for about 22 minutes, so that's good enough for now. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm looking for great term with you guys. There's a lot of great music we have to listen to. There's some interesting things that I think that a lot of you haven't thought about or haven't realized before, so we're going to do that. And again, any questions, I end my lectures and everything with this. If you have any questions, any issues, any comments, don't hesitate to contact me. I will be here and I'm happy to hear from you anytime. Okay. All right. So that's it for now. I'll see you on Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And if you have any questions, then come on. If you can't make the lecture, but you still have questions, email me and I'll answer them on the Zoom meeting. You can watch it on the video. You can hear your name mentioned on the video, just like at Yankee Stadium. You'll hear your name when it's your birthday. Anyway, okay, guys, listen, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.